Welcome everyone. Today we'll have a special summoners guide with Wolcen. I have been testing summoners and after many trials and different combinations, we finally found an immortal summoner in level 187. Yes, I'll show you guys the whole perks for the summoner and the details. You don't have to be level 90 because all the perks is added to first for toughness, so you don't have to be level 90. And the points here, you don't need this many points. Those points are more for damage and a bit of the, just cheekiness. A bit of more damage, over here when enemies impaired, just something on the side. And the build does not have a crucial requirement. So, getting right into it, why do I call it a immortal summoner? What I'll do is I'll show you guys the difference between me having my summon units and me not having my summon units. So I'm going to run into the fights. I won't touch the companion for now. I just want to show you guys how squishy I am if I don't have my summon units. So I'm going to stand here, and they're going to hit me. And yeah, look at my HP. It's dropping, right? And I'm going to die straight. Now, I can't get out of it. Guys, you mind? Okay, I suck them over. So notice I'm losing HP quite rapidly. So let me show you what happens when I have my summon units. Okay. The same dudes. I'm going to stand here. And yeah, same dudes. Hands free. AFK summoner. I'll show you guys how the damage is dealt as well. Firstly, I'll show you guys the immortal part of the summoner. Of course, the damage is getting dealt. You might say this monster is not hard. It's 187, but they're not boss monsters. Well, there you go, let's find a champion. I can AFK in front of almost everything. I'm not even joking. There's a boss monster. I'm just gonna stand here. And yeah, let's see if he can. It's actually doing damage to me. Oh no. I'm not life stealing, I'm not casting anything at all. So this is the fun part. I mean, oh no, he's doing damage to me. So let me show you my stats while this is happening. I think we can have all day here. Now, my stats, I have 66% block, 29% block efficiency, not too great. Movement speed really low because I'm not moving. Really good resistance because as a summoner, your talents and your perks don't actually go to the... This is actually a little annoying. I'll move away from this after. So, as the summoner, your talents and everything don't go into the summons. So the only thing that might help is the trial that saves you a little time, but I have so many spare skills I can use for the summoner, so I don't need to have the trial as a must-have. It's just you have to debuff yourself. Those shoulders does not work. People have tested, and I've checked forums, people have tested with different monsters, those shoulders does not work. So what I did was I just found some resistant shoulders, that's all. Acute damage is not a must, toughness is not in my high roll, just about a bunch of resistance. This gets a little annoying, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come over here. I'll show you how we deal damage now. Oh, my dudes are still here. My dudes are still here. So I'm gonna get my zombie archers. Gonna group them together. How we deal damage is actually pretty tricky. So, dudes, I need to get my summons grouped up together. Now we do a focus fire by dragging them together. And when we focus fire, you actually do a lot of work when they're together. Biggest problem is you have to make sure I'm focus firing the right unit. And you can see the damage is actually not bad. This is the highest level of dungeon. And if I don't kill those, I actually focus fire those, we're actually going to kill them even quicker. Let's drag them together. Group those. So my summons need to focus. And well, now they drag together. Now it gets interesting. Of course, against the boss, we killed everyone. Against the boss, we might take a little longer, but I'll show you guys the whole fight. It's got about 56 million, and the damage is not low. You can see the DPS is actually quite substantial. I can stand here. I can chill. I know, I've a little broke it, right? I finally did it. I'm not saying I have the highest damage, but let's have a cup of tea. Nothing is modified or nothing is broken here. It's all normal items and normal gears for the Alpha Icon. So notice we got about 20 million down with him just in the past 30 seconds. So I think we're looking at about a 20 million DPS single target hand. And we do really good AoE damage if you play correctly. The best thing is, well, you're immortal god. You don't die. And this allows you to almost guarantee the not death on the S strength, the, what you call it? The Untainted, which is really good. Of course, I'll go back in time after we kill him. my skeletons die. Notice that the skeletons are not necessary because only have like they have like 40k HP and they die too fast. Each of those does like 10 or 15k extra DPS, which is not a big factor. I'm not using my parasite, which I'll show you guys a parasite after this one. I can't parasite him, right? I can't parasite him. And by the way, I also holy smite. So when they go below 15%, when I touch him, they explode. On top of that, when I actually debuff enemies, I actually debuff them with curse stacks. So that means you don't need the trial, you just debuff them anyways. You just manually debuff them. Let's go find a unit to capture, because I want to show you guys how fun Parasite can be. Not a must have. I like him. Well, no. I like him. He runs fast. Yeah. He's on my side now. Why don't we take him as well? He's on my side now. Let's get one more dude. How about this dude? Okay, let's get this dude. Try and aim at him. Gosh, I'm putting this in. Did I get him? Okay, he's on my side now. So notice I just captured 3 different normal enemies. And I got 2 fanatic. Did I get one more? No, this guy is a specialist. If I catch him, I'm gonna lose a few dudes. Okay, this is good. Let's capture him. I'm drawing willpower. So now I got 2 of the fanatic sleeper and 1 of the tainted primordial armor. And they are my side. They also perked up with the monster become stronger, chance to drop out close. No, this is actually not that much. The only thing is monster gets stronger, which is not a big factor, but if you do find a monster that summons or gives buffs, it makes it more interesting, and I don't have to use it. So the 2 skills I don't have to use is Hunting Swan and also Parasite. Because the build adjusts for a dagger, that means you can guarantee you can actually cast the damage spell with Mark of Ability yourself manually. Just put it in and cast it. Because I had a belt, I decided to go like a little hands-free with AFK mode. You just auto-cast when you cast a spell with it. And also, if you don't have the trial, just get a really good resistance HP belt. It makes you even tankier. You become more of an immortal. We reduce damage taken by about 99%. And if you reduce about 99% damage taken, you're regenerating about 1.5k HP or 1.9k HP. Yeah, 1.9k HP. People can't kill you. I'll explain the whole theory of crafting why I'm so tanky. I'll show you guys on this group of monsters. Really good damage. No joke. And this is about 1 million monster HP. And I'm gonna just group them. It takes a little longer because I'm not focused firing, but the moment I kill one, everything dies. Which is really good. Summoners are weak against single target. Oh sorry, Summoners are good against single target but weak against AoE. And this combo allows me to just explode them for a chunk of HP. So there's a 6 million monster, 8 million monster. That's a bit annoying. I do have a bit of mana issue, so what I did was I just got some regen for the mana. The willpower. So that's 8 million still there. It takes a while because the moment we don't focus properly, we actually don't get the damage done. But the moment we focus one down, everything dies. Of course, to be smart wise and to make the game more interactive, you want to capture big monsters that give you a buff, that summons, and something that's a special. Every map have a specialist and different specialists. You can capture them and you can have lots of fun with it. For example, there's one here if I can ever get my hands on him. This one is a specialist with a fanatic. Oh gosh, I'm not getting him. Him? I got him. I don't know he died. I need to make sure I lifesteal at the moment he dies, so I actually capture him as a part of my team. I got him. So now I have a Cultist of the Sleeper, which actually revive dudes. I mean, if its summoner gets popular, I actually make a guide on what specialists to capture, because each of the maps have some really fun ones. I mean, just loving the game yesterday, and now I summon the Frozen Husk with the Cultist, and here's actually a pretty good mage. Isn't that lovely? So, let's go back to town, I'll show you guys everything. Actually, I can show you guys here, right? Oh look how many I summoned. I summoned like 20 zombies. Attack my army of Frozen Sleepers. Attack for Master Mad. Now that's a summoner build I can get behind, right? So, right away, let's look into the perks. You don't need to build anything, just toughness. That's all. And toughness just give you more HP. I'm not even lowering my HP to 100k. I can even go low HP as long as I have a bit of health regen, which I should be fine. Toughness is just there for, I don't even know what, a bit of the damage on the anomaly. That's all, just for my HP. So after toughness, we're gonna go into the gears quickly, and I'll show you guys the gears and the talents. The gear wise, you want heavy armor and heavy helmet. So heavy armor, heavy helmet. I've seen people getting over 900 without resistance on the armor easily, and I've seen people getting over 600 on the helmet. I have one at 680. The better resistance those two, the best way to get more resistance, which is the first source of tankiness with the build. We have 3 tankiness, and those 3 add up to 99% resistance to everything. So those 2 are really good. It's optional if you go for more health. Usually it's better to go with block chances and block efficiency and resistance. For me, I just want the nice numbers, and we'll get a little higher regen. After those, you want to get everything that's heavy, so you maximize your resistance. Ideally, you still want all resistance and increased resistance on this gear. Not much dependence on the cooldown. We want toughness on everything, because more HP the better, right? And yeah, you want those tough gears with all resistance and all resistance on the item, which is very easy to come by if you find a heavy armor, because they're the best one to roll for those. After that, no dependence on the ring at all, you just want resistance. You can roll percentage resistance on the rings. I'll try to speak a little slower, too excited. So, what you want to do is you roll for the resistance on the ring. You can also roll for resistance at the prefix of the ring, the top white part. Sometimes you get resistance or dodge chances. Well, we don't dodge. So sometimes you get like something defensive. Maybe resistance on physical, maybe resistance on crit. Here as well. So you go for a bit of resistance. For the amulets, again, you can roll for resistance, you can roll for HP. You don't need damage at all. It's pretty AFK and pretty hands-off. After that, the weapons is not dependent on anything. You just want increase occult chances if you can. You also want a weapon that has a lower rage conservation time. What happens is when you cast a spell, rage is kept for 2 seconds and then it goes back. And sometimes this doesn't show here. Sometimes rage is kept for a while and it doesn't go down, and that's not good because you want rage to go down to get more willpower. It's not that we cast very fast, because as a summoner we just cast this and we just cast something else. So the rage conservation time, you want it to be 2 seconds if you can. You don't need 3 sockets. You don't even need 2 sockets, just 1 is enough with the secret damage to spells. And occult element chances is just so you can debuff enemies with status, and you will get the debuff off. You will get the weakness off, so don't worry about that, you'll get it off. As for the catalyst, well, Ditch from spells is nice. You don't need increased spell damage, don't need critical damage. Increased chance with occult elements is good, and anything that helps you tank up will be good. Why am I going for dagger and catalyst instead of a staff is that I can socket 6 gems instead of only 3, and I can socket the offensive ones and defensive ones for more block chances, more HP, or more resistance. So defensive 3 for resistance or HP, defensive 1 for the block chance, defensive 2 for the block efficiency. And that's all. Very simple for the itemization. You just get yourself tanky. Next up, let's look at the secret spell tree, which by no means this is not a secret spell tree. This is not like a master for talent tree. Now, it was tested on different forums I was looking at that the damage dealt increase the perks does not work. Not only the damage dealt increase perks does not seem to be working, the special unique items that increase summons damage does not work. So all my summons are just attacking on a base numbers. I don't even know if the perks on damage works. So notice this damage perks, I don't even know if those works. So just keep in mind, you're adding into points that's not working, but this is more target at when those points actually works will be even stronger. It's like we have so much growth potential. Now we do want everything related to summons, which we kind of didn't need all those points. So by no means do you spend all the 90. You spend about 60, you should get a most of things. 70 should be enough. So here, summon health is okay. The biggest ones are here. We lose a bit of health and force field, and we gain the durability of summons. They take about 25%, 20%, 20%, 20%, which add up to 85% reduced damage. My golems are not dying. Those are the golems, the Livor Mortis. The hunting swarm are dying because they only have 40k HP. The golems has 40k HP. I can make them tankier, but for me, after testing, I realized this is the best one. I'll show you guys the other variation. This is the first variation, which is a big golem that's very tanky at 1.4 million. The second one is a warrior, which is more mobile and more offensive. It has 700k or 600k. You can get to 700k. So this guy is just there to slash people. People say he has more damage, but he doesn't help focus fire. I like the one that helps the focus fire for the team. So if my whole team kills one, they explode, will kill the whole map. Next up, well, there isn't anything here. You don't need summoners regeneration because they kind of don't die. And it's just a bit of summon like life perks, and this is the only perk for summons. They actually changed the talents out. So those perks used to be summons damage, attack speed, those are gone. I was so shocked. I was like, wait, what? They're gone? And yeah, this is the only perks you want. And now this behind the theory crafting, how do I become a master for tank? Well, there's two parts. The first part is I'll be perking into a lot of defensive mechanics. The Salvatory Anchor is the first point. We get a lot of resistance this way. So by perking those, if I have the correct armor and chest, I'll show you what happens when I take it off. I'm looking at, well, 12k is not bad, 77%, 12k everything. So if I put those back down, I almost doubled, I even close to double my resistance at 86.3%. I can even go a little further when I pick up health globes, when things happen. And not only that, it's actually right next to the disallowing vessel, which give us more resistance. I don't even take the HP perks because I don't crit. Give us more resistance, give us more health regen and more resistance. It's so good. And after that, I went for a bit of blocking, which is not even needed. So those points are just here for the resistance perk. I actually went for the 20 resistance over that. So in the end, I was just here for the resistance. This is just, you know, a freebie. I do want to be blocking without a shield. So what I do is I go for the 6% increased block chances with 20% efficiency. And if you have seen our globe exploding mage build, what I went is I'll be dropping a lot of globes, and because I drop a lot of globes, I can get 40% resistance when a globe drop. And sometimes I'm AFKing, I don't want to run for the globes, so what I did was, I had so many points here, I just clicked the 15% radius pickup when the globes are dropped, so they fly to me, and you just get all the health back, you get all the resistance you wanted, and it's really good. After that, you want to be a little offensive and you want to be more supportive for your team. So as the caster for Necromancer or the Summoner, you want to be doing secret damage so that you instantly one-shot the boss when they're below 15%. That's really good because when you kill one, they explode, they kill everything. And that's pretty much for this side. We went for the health, and resistance. After that, those are optional. I just, I spare points. Here we went for the health, and because we want to debuff enemies as much as we can with curses, if you don't have the trial, just manually cast it. If you don't want to be casting the trial, just use Parasite on the enemy. He will give curse. So it's the same thing, just a little longer. Just hold on to your right click and it will work. And I went for double elements, I went for additional elements. Here I went for double debuffs. I went for chance to inflict those by twice. I went for the defensive perks on the Dire Structure. I actually lost a point here. I don't know where it went, so I actually didn't have the additional HP and force shield, which we kind of don't need. What's the point of having 5% more HP when you just don't die, right? So the 5 element stacks means we can stack enemies up to 20-30% with those. And the time which cannot heal, I thought it might not be working on the summons. I can't tell. So since I was here, I might as well perk third. Because summons are doing majority of the damage, I'm doing a third of the damage with my anomaly. So it's this spell. This is my only source of damage with this, which don't do much. So I thought I might just perk that because, I have so many points spared. After that, you can get Render Burst, which is absolutely not needed because I'm standing in front of enemies. I'm not skill rolling, I'm not dodging, and that means I have 0 tendon points, so those are wasteful. And I only came here for the resistance pretty much, which is not much. I spent 5 points for 10 resistance and only material. So this is definitely not needed. After that, probing weakness and, the chance of block is not bad just to enhance how survivable we are. It is not a must-have as well. The good thing is it gives me a bit of maximum health, block efficiency and block chance, and absolutely you don't even need those 5 points. After doing some research, I realized to increase the power of the summon units, what you can do is you can slow the enemies with status debuff and enemies will take 25% more damage. That's one of the only things that helps the summons. So definitely keep that in mind if you play summons. And lastly, this also gives summons more damage when there is only one enemy within the range, but half the time we don't get that route. So you can see that a majority of the points here are just randomly perks, and I am not a god tank with just those perks. I'll show you guys the secret on the next part. So here we are. I'm going to review the next part of the build, which makes a super tank. So we're going to start with Anomaly first. It's a very straightforward one. Increase AoE damage, increase AoE, increase duration, and pulse your enemies, and also explode the globes. Because we'll be summoning globes, might as well do some damage. Also stop the game from freezing. We also allow for 2 vortex. The cooldown is pretty good, so I'm actually looking at 6 seconds, 5.7. Sometimes you look at about 7 seconds, which is not much of a difference, so you don't need that much cooldown. This is the biggest part of the build. This is where the damage comes in, single target, where the defensive capacity comes in, and where everything falls together. I was testing it without this perk and it was not good. The Generational Grief is actually one of the best perks for summoners and for mages. I will be planning to perk into any major build just with one skill point into this, and this gives you about 20 to 30% damage reduction. And that's not all. If you duplicate your minions into duplicated skills, which you can unlock in the black market for a bit of fee. After duplicating the skills, I believe you need the first skill to be level 10 to be able to duplicate the first one to the next one. You have to level the next one to level 40 to duplicate the next one to level 1. So once you duplicate all of them, you just have to reach this level and get this perk. It should reduce damage taken by 20 to 30%, and this is what multiplies onto my defensive capacities. And this makes me immortal. So you've seen me running up. Without my summons, I actually lose HP rapidly. With summons, I actually stop losing HP. Let's go to them again. I'll show you guys again. It's so fun, right? So what I do is when you unperk them, the summons die, and I lose all my defensive capacities. So those are just random dudes with summon. Look at how many summons. We're like 20 summons here. And this is the chance to do double. This is the block chance. So I'm gonna run to the boss now, and he's gonna smack me, of course, because I don't have all my summons. I'm gonna stand here and let him do his thing. I even have Brandon Burst. Notice my HP is kind of falling pretty quickly. I might even die here. Oh, there. HP is falling rapidly, right? Okay, let's stop that shenanigans. Let's get my dudes. Let's get myself back up. I still have the resistance stance. Now I'm gonna go handspring. And he's gonna zap me. Notice I was losing so much HP when he was zapping me before. Now I no longer lose HP. Because pretty much 99% defense. And it's so careless. I run up to the boss, I go for a shower, 20 million HP, they just die. I don't want to make the recording for 10 minutes, but notice he's on 123 million, and he's losing HP pretty rapidly. And that's before I debuff with curses. Oh, no, I lost my HP. Oh, damn, he actually got me. Hey, I need to build more resistance. Nah, I'm joking, I need to get some regen. I need to get some health regen. And of course, you don't play the game by AFK, right? So you actually debuff them with curses, you actually do your thing, and when you're actually healing from spells, you're healing from health globes, there's no way they can kill you. That's the biggest factor. And oh, here we go, guys. What I'll do is I'll share this particular build with the save file for you guys onto the offline, and I'll start tweaking my mage online for this particular build as well. I think it has great potential, and the summons are by no means at the maximum perk because they're not doing enough damage, and they're not getting buffed by the perks properly, and they're not doing everything right. I'll show you guys how I deal with those kind of monsters. What I do is I first run away, so I group my summons together this way, get my archers out, and I got my dudes. Those are my dudes, by the way. They're not coming. So this way, I group enemies together, and they focus on each of them. Oh, they're not focusing those down. Once they focus on each of them, I kill all the ads and kill the boss after by standing in front of him and debuffing. So there you go. We're almost done with those. Of course, if you look at other builds, it is a little low damage because we have to kill one first, then everything dies. But if we don't kill the first one, nothing dies, right? But here, I'm just gonna right click him, and I'm actually stacking curse debuffs on him now. And likely, I need to get some skeletons out because I killed all the skeletons. It's a very casual hands-free build. That's the best part. Oh, they killed one more skeleton. So we'll kill him, and that's the demonstration of how fast we can kill a mid monster. This one's not that good for us, simply because he is going to teleport away, which kind of ruins my hands-freeness. Oh, he's actually killing me. I got a plan to that. How dare you kill us? Yeah, this one actually does a lot of damage. The other ones I tested usually don't do that much damage. Talking about doing damage, yeah. And I haven't actually got the life lich. What I'm using right now is actually the willpower lich, so you can see my willpower is not going down. This allows me to go one-handed. So could you add the shout for your pets with attack speed? I tried it, I don't think it works. So none of the shouts works. Okay, my dudes are getting distracted. Let's finish those guys here. So that's the guy that's actually distracting me. So let's take him out. Hey guys. I need to run away from the enemy so my summons actually comes to me, and then we can focus fire like this. And now I'll debuff him. No, I don't need to zap it. So if I'm actually parasiting a monster, if you kill it with a parasite, you actually take position of the monster. You want to keep the one you want to keep. If it's a specialist, you can only keep one. If it's a normal monster, you can keep up to 3. I like the specialist that summons. That makes me feel like, you know, a necromancer. And we're back. Of course, you can trigger your little summons. Oh gosh, we summon so many husks here. You can trigger your own summons automatically with the spells, and that might give you a shield like this, and that will reduce your damage taken even further. I need to summon my skeletons other places. Look at the whole army. Hey there, but then have force wave armor for sale. Yes, I do have that. Let's talk about that after. My friend wanted a trial belt for the armor though. I'm not sure if you're willing to trade for it. So yeah, the damage is not very high, but if you actually look at the numbers, we're doing about 1 million damage every second almost. So it's not bad. And yeah, look at my HP. Oh boy. 1 and 7. It is not your fastest clear, that I can guarantee. But it's a fun one because summoners are going to get more buffs, and once they... Oh, he died at 15% by the way. Once you get more of the perks out with summoners actually working with items, and also with the perks we have here, which I wasted like 10 points here, they'll actually get better. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you like this kind of guide, I'll be making more similar summoner guides and make a summoner hybrid mage first. So definitely subscribe onto YouTube for more fun builds and more tips and guides onto Wolcen. If you want to support me further and to support me full-time streaming and making contents for Wolcen and Underlords, please consider using your Twitch Prime on Twitch to support me. It is $5 a month, but it goes a long way to have a stable income. I'm currently, you can see the logo down there, I'm currently trying to get support with rent and bills and just with a bit of donation things in here to keep myself going with full-time casting, streaming and making contents. Thank you so much guys for your help, and hopefully you enjoy this recording. What we're going to do now is we're going to go for the full replay. I'll make a few replays offline to show you guys how this is played in different maps and how it's played against different captured mobs. It's like Pokemon. I'll be like, this map, there's a rare Pokemon here. You catch this specialist, you get massive boost of AoE damage. You catch this one, he summons a lot. You catch this one, he gives everyone buffs. And this one freezes. So I'll show you guys in a few recordings. Thank you for watching guys.